Wow, what a classic.
You're going to want to turn too. There's a joystick. Yeah, we took the Atari 2600 out of the attic
and I'm playing Defender. And this is a great game. I remember this one really well. Check out the cool joysticks here, guys.
Oh man, I remember this. This came out in exciting times, like 1977.
Absolutely. They made a number of different models of these as well. So this is one of the earlier ones, but the very first ones that came out actually had 6 switches on the front. Remember those, George?
That was called the Heavy Sixer, wasn't it? That was a pretty awesome machine, yeah. But man, we're going way back. I'm looking at this thing. We're playing it. I've got good graphics here. These are great graphics, right?
Yeah.
That's because we're plugged into an HDTV. But this was really the first time when these games came out. This was the first time you didn't have to go to the arcade and start plugging quarters into the machine. You could play this at home on your color TV or your black and white. And there's a switch there, isn't there? Black and white.
Yeah, right.
Show me the switch there.
Yeah, color TV, George. I didn't have a color TV.
No, don't kid yourself.
No, there's a switch here. You can play this on black and white. I just flip this.
Yep.
There,
Right here.
You blew me up in black and white. Thanks a lot.
Let's put it back in color. George had a color
There
TV.
we go.
Yeah, well, they're exciting times,
There.
and if you had a color TV, for people that did, especially if you got one of these at Christmas time, it got plugged into the color TV, and everyone played it over the holidays, had a great time. We got Defender here now, all sorts of games. But if you had a black and white TV, like you said, you could also click on there and play it on the black and white TV, and a lot of people did down in the rec room and the den and everything.
Now, if I remember, these things were actually made in Sunnyvale, California.
Very true. Later models made in Hong Kong.
Right,
This one here
right.
dates up, I think, about 1980, 82. This one came out. And then after that,
Oh, actually, we got another sweetheart here that came out in 1982. Same thing with the 4 switches on the front, but you'll notice it's all black. It says Atari 2600 right on it instead of just this particular one. They called this the Darth Vader. You remember now. George remembers now.
Luke, I am your father. But what's neat, I mean, here we got the Country Squire classic wood grain. You saw this on the side of your cars. It isn't on the other one, right?
George still has a car with
We can still get cars
yeah,
like
absolutely.
that.
But yeah, they made a number of different models, and Sears even had a model as well. Sears Video Computer System version. Atari made it for them. And Coleco, yeah.
Well, I'm looking at
You got a
this thing.
Coleco
I've got a
cartridge
Coleco cartridge. This is Coleco, and that's Atari. But it's got it on here. It says Coleco, and it says Donkey Kong by Nintendo, of course, which is still around.
Yep.
Video game cartridge for use with the Atari Video Computer System and the Sears Video Arcade, and obviously the Coleco.
Yeah, Coleco made their own version called the Gemini. That's the one that we got one
Yeah.
Christmas. We were very excited about it, and that cartridge actually came with it.
So you
came
can
with two.
buy-
It came with Donkey Kong and another one
Yeah.
called Mousetrap. Yeah.
So you can buy these things at yard sales and such, get them pretty cheap, and they'll play in pretty much any machine you have from this era, made by those manufacturers, right? But my question now is, this is not the kind of TV we had in 1977.
No, your question is, why does this look so
I mean,
good?
it looks great. I mean,
Yeah.
the graphics are superior. What did you do? How did you do this?
Well, this is what we did. Kevin, there's the connector right
Right
there.
on, right here. Here's the regular an RCA style connect. You see this on video connections. And actually, this used to plug into a little chrome colored box, silver box.
Okay.
And that box had a switch on it that you had to switch. If you had cable, you could switch to cable or switch to like the antenna connection in the back of your TV. And what Chris just handed me here.
And that is what worked poorly. We had them, and we're always
Yeah.
fidgeting around with them with that little switch, and you'd have little interference happening on the screen and everything.
Well, that just looks like the old jack from one of my stereo speakers
Yeah.
from
Right on.
1980, right? That's the same,
Same
idea.
thing, and as Chris said, the RF interference, it never worked right. You had to try to wiggle the wires, or
Yeah.
when I remember when Mom used to turn the mixer on out in the kitchen, or
Yeah, the plunger. That's
whoever
where
ran
the
it.
plunger was going. All of a sudden, you get all the
It
wires.
was look like this TV, I know.
All the snow.
Well, you see how that RCA connector just plugs right into that, and right on the end, and then this is plugs right into our television where the coax went into.
Yeah, and these are very simple to find. They sell them at whatever sort of store you might have, like a Radio Shack. We have a store
Yeah,
locally
the
called
Source,
The
any of those
Source.
things, yeah.
And they cost less than $10. They're usually about $5 or so. And they just have the little coaxial end here, and on this side here, it looks like an RCA input, like you said.
Yeah.
And this just plugs back into the TV set, and we're actually going into the coaxial input on the TV.
Right
So
under
you
that,
think
yeah.
that would be kind of not the best place to be plugging in, but we find with this, it actually gives us a superior image to what we used to have when we were kids growing up.
Well, it worked fine for
Yeah.
me. I mean,
Plug that
you
back
know,
in there,
this was,
let's see.
the graphics and the clarity on this little
Like that.
HDTV were pretty much what you got at the arcade.
Switch it up.
Let's switch it up. What's this? Little Frogger action?
Little frogger.
Oh,
Listen. You remember that? You're ready, right? Now you're in.
Yeah.
Ford was an awesome game.
Let's
I think
go.
we were going to say 5 games, not the absolute best games that Atari made, but 5 games that you can easily find at flea markets, yard sales, thrift store. ET. Wow.
E.T. go
We definitely
home.
have ET here. ET is its own story, isn't it?
That was a bomb.
Yeah.
That was a terrible game. And I think, isn't that one of the ones that, I mean, look at the graphic. I mean, my God.
This graphic, I think, is the best part of it.
Yeah. But isn't
I'm a
this,
fan still, but
isn't this one of the really bad ones that actually led Atari to burying about like thousands and thousands of cartridges in a New Mexico landfill?
they absolutely did. And it was a legend for years, and we know the story now. We all read it in the papers, we saw a documentary about it, but they actually went and they dug them all up and they found lots of cartridges of ET that never even come out of the boxes.
Right.
There's some copies of Pac-Man there too. Pac-Man was a huge hit. They sold 7 million copies of that, but the game wasn't very good. But we don't want to put Pac-Man at home.
But then we got Ms. Pac-Man.
We definitely did.
Ms. Pac-Man was excellent.
We got Ms. Pac-Man right here.
Slammer in.
And this one, well, hang on a second. What about Space,
Really?
Space Invaders?
Space
right?
Invaders, all right, Kevin,
They,
put it in.
I mean, they might have sold about 7 million Pac-Man, but
Yeah.
Space Invaders had to be up there to the
Pop
millions,
in.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn this puppy off, back on. Check this out.
That's on our list too. Space Invaders, nothing but classic, fun to play and everything.
I'm going
But
to get bombed.
if you can find it, this really pushes the Atari graphics right here. Demon Attack.
Ooh.
You've seen
Put it
Demon
in.
Attack? Let's
Put
put her
it
in.
in.
Yep.
Whoa.
And I never saw it look like it's so good, right? We got a plugged in a
Oh
nice
man,
picture
look
in
at
the
the
back.
fast action
And,
there.
I'm telling you. I just got blown up.
There you
And
go.
I got blown up again. I want my game back. I keep
I think
getting
we
blown
gotta put your
up.
defender back in. We're still having
Well,
fun
what
with
was
these
the
in,
other
but
one I was
we're talking
talking
about
about?
Ms. Pac-Man.
We're talking about
and
Ms. Pac-Man.
It was
Come on
definitely an
now.
improvement. So
Here we go. Now tell me
Yeah.
that a lot of you don't remember this.
What is?
Oh!
Oh.
That's okay, I got more life.
the Atari 2600. It was classic in 1977.
This is awesome. It's still classic now. And what's really cool is not only is the game classic,
Yeah.
George's
I'm
classic.
classic. Well, I can tell you I'm classically just as bad at the game as I was back then.
the Sunnyvale thing still.
No,
It puzzles me too, but